My wife gave me two choices: watch her sleep with her ex or stay out of her way while she did it anyway. I picked option 3 and told her to start packing before I rearranged his face. Posted in our /relationship_advice. I'm writing this from my brother's couch at 2 a.m. because I can't sleep, and I'm still trying to process what the hell just happened to my life in the span of 72 hours. My hands are still shaking. I don't even know if I'm looking for advice anymore or just need to get this out before I lose my mind. My wife Emma, 32F, and I, 34M, have been married for 6 years, together for 9. We have a 4-year-old daughter, Lily. Until last Friday, I thought we had a solid marriage. Not perfect. We'd had our rough patches like anyone, but solid. We communicated. We laughed together. We were partners. Or so I thought. Let me back up a bit. Emma has an ex-boyfriend, Kyle, from college. They dated for 3 years before she met me. According to her, it was a passionate but toxic relationship that ended badly when he cheated on her. She was heartbroken. Took about a year to recover, and then we met at a mutual friend's wedding. Our relationship was different from the start. Stable, mature, built on trust. At least that's what I believed. Kyle moved across the country about 8 years ago, and Emma hadn't had contact with him since before we got together. I knew he existed, but he was ancient history, just another ex. I never felt threatened, because why would I? Emma chose me. We built a life together. 3 months ago, Kyle moved back to our city for work. Emma told me about it casually one evening. Oh, by the way, Kyle's back in town. Saw it on Facebook. I barely reacted. Cool, whatever. Didn't affect us. Then she mentioned he'd reached out to her. Wanted to apologize for how things ended. Maybe grab coffee to catch up as old friends. She asked if I'd be okay with it. Here's where I made my first mistake. I said yes without hesitation. I trusted her completely. I'm not the jealous type, and I didn't want to be that husband who polices his wife's friendships. She's an adult. She can have coffee with an old friend. The coffee meetup happened about 2 months ago. She came home, said it was fine, a bit awkward but good closure. He'd apologized. They caught up on life. She told me he was divorced, working in finance, seemed to have matured. Great. Moving on. Except they kept talking. At first, it was occasional texts that she'd mention. Kyle sent a funny meme. Kyle asked about Lily. I noticed she was on her phone more, but she wasn't hiding it. She'd even show me some of their conversations. Nothing inappropriate, just friendly banter between two people with shared history. Looking back now, I can see how carefully orchestrated this all was. The slow boil, the normalization, getting me comfortable with their renewed friendship. So I wouldn't notice when the temperature increased. About 3 weeks ago, Emma asked if Kyle could come over for dinner, meet me properly, see our home. She wanted to integrate our lives since Kyle was back and would be around. Again, I agreed. I actually thought it was mature and healthy. Let's all be adults about this. The dinner was fine. Kyle was charming, professional, asked about my work, complimented the house. He brought an expensive bottle of wine and a toy for Lily. We talked about sports, real estate, the city's development. Emma seemed happy that we all got along. I went to bed that night thinking, good guy? Glad Emma has another friend in town. I'm such an idiot. The visits became more frequent. Kyle would stop by on his way home from work. Emma and Kyle would meet for lunch. They joined a book club together. Every time, Emma was transparent about it. She'd tell me where she was going, who she was with. I had no reason to suspect anything, because she wasn't acting guilty. But then little things started changing. Emma started working out more, buying new clothes. She'd spend an extra 20 minutes on her makeup before meeting Kyle. She started talking about him constantly. Kyle said this. Kyle thinks that. Kyle recommended this restaurant. When I point out how often she mentioned him, she'd laugh it off. Oh, I guess I do talk about him a lot. Sorry, it's just nice to reconnect with someone from that part of my life. 2 weeks ago, Emma started acting different. Distant. She'd zone out during conversations. Sex dropped off completely. She'd claim exhaustion, headaches, just not feeling it. She'd stay up late on her phone, smiling at the screen. When I'd ask what was so funny, she'd say nothing and put it away. Last Tuesday, she asked if we could talk. My stomach dropped immediately. You know that feeling when you just know something bad is coming? We sat down at the kitchen table after Lily was asleep, and Emma looked nervous but also excited. There was this energy coming off her that I couldn't place. She started with, I need to be honest with you about something. My heart was pounding. I thought she was going to confess an affair, and I was already trying to figure out if we could work through it. But what she said was so much worse. I've been doing a lot of thinking about my life, about our marriage, about who I am as a person. She began, and I've realized that I have unfinished business with Kyle. We never got proper closure. Our relationship ended so abruptly, so painfully, that I never processed it. And now that he's back in my life, all these old feelings are resurfacing. I just stared at her. What are you saying? I'm saying I think I need to explore this. I need to know if what I'm feeling is real or just nostalgia. I need closure one way or another. Explore what exactly? My voice was cold. She took a deep breath. I need to be with Kyle. Physically. Just once. To see if the chemistry is still there or if it's all in my head. To close this chapter properly so I can fully commit to you and our marriage. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. You want to sleep with your ex-boyfriend. Just once. With complete transparency. I wouldn't hide it from you. And then we'd know and we could move forward. I stood up from the table. The answer is no. Obviously no. What the hell, Emma? She stood too, and her expression hardened. I knew you'd react this way. That's why I've been thinking about this for weeks. I've already made up my mind. I'm going to do this whether you approve or not. But I'm offering you a choice in how it happens, because I respect you and our marriage. You respect our marriage? Are you listening to yourself? I'm giving you two options, she continued, as if she was presenting a business proposal. Option one, you could be present, not in the room, but in the house. Kyle would come here. We'd go to the guest room, and you'd know exactly what's happening. Complete transparency. No lies, no sneaking around. Afterward, we'd all talk, process it together, and move on. I felt like I was in a nightmare. And option two? Option two. I go to Kyle's place, you stay home with Lily, and I come back when it's done. Less confrontational for you, but you'd have to trust that I'd be honest about what happened. I couldn't speak. My wife, the mother of my child, the woman I'd built a life with, was standing in our kitchen calmly explaining how she was going to cheat on me and asking me to choose a method. Those are my options? I finally managed. Watch you betray me or wait at home while you betray me. It's not betrayal if I'm being honest about it, she said. Betrayal is lying and sneaking. I'm offering full transparency. This is about me getting closure, so I could be fully present in our marriage. Some therapists actually recommend this kind of thing. No therapist would recommend this. I shouted. I had to lower my voice because I didn't want to wake Lily. No legitimate therapist would tell you to fuck your ex to save your marriage. That's insane. You're not listening to me. You're not hearing what I need. What about what I need? What about our vows? What about Lily? This doesn't affect Lily. And I'm not breaking my vows. I'm being honest with you. I'm giving you agency in this. That's when something broke inside me. I'd been in shock, trying to process, trying to understand. But in that moment, clarity hit me like a freight train. This wasn't about closure. This wasn't about unfinished business. Emma had already decided to cheat on me. Probably already had. Honestly, this whole choice thing was just her trying to manipulate me into condoning it, into making it somehow my decision, so she wouldn't be the bad guy. I looked at my wife and didn't recognize her. There's a third option, I said quietly. What? Option 3. You start packing your shit right now, and I call my lawyer in the morning. Her face changed. The confident, in-control expression cracked. What? That's not. You're overreacting. We should talk about this. We're done talking. You made your choice when you cooked up this insane plan. I'm making mine. You're throwing away our marriage over this? I'm offering you honesty. Do you know how many people cheat and lie? At least I'm being upfront. You want a medal? You're asking permission to cheat, Emma. And the fact that you think that somehow better shows how delusional you are. She started crying. I love you. I love our family. I just need this one thing. Then you don't love me, because if you did, you'd never ask me to accept this. You'd never put me in this position. So that's it? You're just going to end everything. You ended it when you decided your ex's dick was more important than your family. Her tears stopped. Her face went cold. Fine, if that's how you want to play it. But you should know, Kyle and I have already kissed. Last week, and it was better than anything you and I have had in years. I felt punched. Get out. Get out of this house right now. This is my house too. Get out. I roared. I must have been loud because I heard Lily crying upstairs. Emma looked scared for the first time. Good. She grabbed her purse and keys and left. I heard her car peel out of the driveway. Then I went upstairs to comfort my daughter, who was crying for Mommy, and I had to lie to her that everything was okay. I didn't sleep that night. I just sat in Lily's room watching her sleep, wondering how I was going to explain any of this to her. At 6 a.m., I called my brother, told him the basics, and asked if I could stay with him for a few days. He said yes immediately. At 8 a.m., I called a divorce attorney my colleague had recommended. She had an opening that afternoon. I left Lily with my brother and his wife and went to consultation. The lawyer, Ms. Patterson, was incredible. She listened to everything, took notes, and told me exactly what to expect. She said Emma's admission about kissing Kyle, combined with her intent to commit adultery, gave me solid ground for an at-fault divorce in our state. She said to document everything, save all texts and communications, and not to leave the house permanently because it could hurt my custody case. That last part hit me hard. I couldn't run to my brother's place with Lily because it would look like parental alienation. I needed to stay in the marital home to maintain my position as primary caregiver. So I went back home. Emma had returned while I was gone. She'd packed some clothes but was still there. When I walked in, she tried to approach me. Can we please talk about this rationally? Through lawyers. That's the only communication we're having. You're really doing this? Over one mistake. You haven't made a mistake yet, and you're already calling it one. That tells me everything. I haven't slept with him. I can still choose not to, but you have to meet me halfway. You have to understand what I'm going through. What you're going through. You're not going through anything except the consequences of your choices. And, you know what? I lied earlier. There's actually a fourth option I didn't mention. She looked hopeful. What? Option 4. I find Kyle and rearrange his face. The hope disappeared. You wouldn't. Try me. You brought this man into our home, around our daughter, while planning to fuck him. You think I wouldn't drive to his place right now. He doesn't deserve violence. He's not the one who's married. Oh, so you're defending him now? That's perfect. Really showing me your priorities. I'm just saying, save it. I don't care about Kyle. I care about never having to see your face again unless it's about our daughter. I'll be in the guest room. You can have the master. We'll maintain separate spaces until one of us moves out. Ms. Patterson will be sending you papers soon. That was Friday. It's now Monday. Emma has been texting me constantly. Apologies, explanations, begging for another chance. She said she was confused, that she didn't really want to go through with it, that she was testing me to see if I'd fight for her. Classic manipulation. She told her parents a sanitized version, that we're having problems and I'm being unreasonable. They called me to mediate. When I told them the truth, that their daughter asked permission to cheat and is now crying victim, her dad went silent. Her mom tried to defend her, saying marriage is hard and people make mistakes. I told her this wasn't a mistake. It was a calculated plan and hung up. My parents, when I told them, were horrified. My mom cried. My dad offered to pay for the lawyer. They've been lifesavers, watching Lily when I need time to handle things. I haven't confronted Kyle. Part of me wants to, but Ms. Patterson warned against it. Any violence or threats would harm my custody case. So I'm channeling all my rage into the legal process instead. I did block him on everything and told Emma if he comes near my house again, I'm calling the cops. The worst part is explaining things to Lily. She knows something's wrong. She keeps asking why Mommy and Daddy don't sleep in the same room anymore, why we don't eat dinner together, why everyone's sad. Emma and I agreed to tell her we're having grown-up problems, but we both love her very much. It's breaking my heart. I found out through a mutual friend that Kyle is apparently confused about the whole situation. Emma apparently told him I was okay with them reconnecting, maybe even testing the waters of an open marriage. He didn't know he was a bomb being dropped into our family. Part of me feels bad for him. He's being used just like I was, but mostly I don't care. He should have known better than to get this close to a married woman. Emma has since claimed she never would have actually gone through with it, that she was having a crisis and wasn't thinking clearly, that she needs therapy and wants me to go to couples counseling. I told her we're way past counseling. You don't counsel your way back from one spouse asking the other to accept infidelity. Some people I've told have said I'm overreacting, that she didn't actually cheat, that I should hear her out, go to therapy, try to save the marriage for Lily's sake. But here's the thing, she did cheat. Maybe not physically, though I believe she and Kyle did more than kiss, but emotionally she was already gone. And more than that, she revealed who she really is. Someone who would value a nostalgia trip over her family. Someone who will manipulate her husband into condoning betrayal. Someone who thinks transparency makes infidelity acceptable. I can't trust her again. Ever. Even if we somehow work through this, I'd spend the rest of my life wondering when the next ex would pop up, what other needs she'd discover that I'm supposed to accommodate. That's no way to live. So I'm moving forward with the divorce. Ms. Patterson is filing papers this week. We're going for primary custody with Emma getting standard visitation, given her admitted emotional affair and stated intent to commit adultery, plus my role as Lily's primary caregiver. I do mornings, daycare drop-offs, most dinners, and bedtimes. We have a strong case. Emma is now in full panic mode. She's realized I'm serious. She's crying, apologizing, saying she'll never speak to Kyle again. Too little, too late. The trust is gone. The respect is gone. The love is... I don't know. Maybe some part of me still loves who I thought she was. But that person doesn't exist. Maybe she never did. I'm angry. I'm sad. I'm confused. I'm relieved. I'm terrified. I'm all of it at once. My marriage is over. My daughter's life is about to be turned upside down. My financial situation is about to get complicated. The future I planned is gone. But at least I have my self-respect. At least I didn't sit there and accept being a doormat. At least when Lily's old enough to understand, I can tell her that I stood up for myself and for what's right. Emma made her choice. She chose nostalgia and lust over love and family. Now she gets to live with that choice. And I get to rebuild. I don't know what happens next. I'm taking it day by day, hour by hour sometimes. My brother and parents have been incredible. My friends, once they heard the truth, have rallied around me. Work has been understanding about me needing flexibility. If there's any advice I'd give to someone in a similar situation, trust your gut. If something feels wrong, it probably is. Don't let anyone manipulate you into accepting disrespect in the name of being understanding or modern or mature. There's a difference between having an open mind and being a doormat. Know that difference. And if your spouse ever presents you with options for how they're going to betray you, remember there's always option 3. Choose yourself. Thanks for reading. I needed to get this out. I'll update when there's more to tell. Update 3 days later. Holy shit, I didn't expect this to blow up. Thank you for all the support, advice, and perspective. Reading through the comments has really helped me feel less crazy. Let me address some things and give you an update on what's happened. First, to answer common questions. Did she actually sleep with Kyle? I still don't know for sure. Emma swears they only kissed. But in her text since I kicked her out, she's admitted to emotional intimacy and some physical affection beyond kissing. I think they at least fooled around. Honestly, it doesn't matter at this point. The intent was there, the betrayal happened, and I'm done. Have I confronted Kyle? Not in person, but I did send him a message through a friend. Basically told him he was a homewrecker whether he meant to be or not, and to stay away from my family. Apparently, Emma had been telling him I was emotionally checked out of the marriage and we were heading toward divorce anyway. Classic affair fog justification. My friend says Kyle seemed genuinely shocked by the real story. But again, don't care. Am I sure about divorce? Absolutely. Some commenter said I was rash, that I should try therapy first. But you all don't understand. The woman I married died the moment she presented me with those options. The disrespect, the manipulation, the sheer audacity of it all. There's no coming back. She nuked the marriage and is now crying about the fallout. Now for the update. Emma moved in with a friend on Tuesday. We're maintaining the separate households thing until custody is figured out. She's been blowing up my phone, alternating between apologies and anger. One text, she's saying she'll do anything to fix this. The next, she's calling me controlling and close-minded. I've stopped responding except for logistics about Lily. Wednesday, her mom came by unannounced. I almost didn't let her in, but she seemed genuinely upset. Not at me, at Emma. Turns out Emma's dad called her out hard after he processed what really happened. Her mom admitted she'd been in denial, wanting to believe Emma's version where I was the unreasonable one. But when her dad laid out the facts, that Emma literally asked to cheat and framed it as my choice, her mom couldn't defend it anymore. She apologized to me. She cried. She said she didn't raise Emma to treat marriage this way and doesn't understand where this came from. She asked if there was any chance of reconciliation. I told her no, gently, and explained that Emma had broken something unfixable. Her mom understood. She asked to still be part of Lily's life, that whatever happens between Emma and me shouldn't affect her relationship with her granddaughter. I agreed completely. She's a good grandma, and Lily needs stability right now. Thursday was my follow-up with Ms. Patterson. We're filing for divorce on grounds of adultery and emotional desertion. In our state, the emotional affair plus stated intent to commit physical adultery is enough. We're also filing for a primary physical custody with Emma getting standard visitation. Ms. Patterson says we have a very strong case given. I'm the primary caregiver, documented through daycare records, doctor's appointments, etc. Emma's admitted emotional affair, Emma's stated intent to commit adultery, admitted in front of me and documented in her text Emma's current instability, moving out, emotional volatility. Emma will be served papers next week. Ms. Patterson expects her to fight the custody arrangement, but we're prepared. The biggest development came Friday night. I was putting Lily to bed when my doorbell rang. I checked the camera. It was Kyle, standing on my porch. At 9 p.m., I almost didn't answer, but my anger got the better of me. I stepped outside and closed the door behind me so Lily wouldn't hear. "You've got 30 seconds before I call the cops." I told him. He put his hands up. "I just want to talk. Man to man. You lost that privilege when you started messing with my wife." "I didn't know, man. I swear I didn't know she was pulling this shit. She told me you guys were basically separated, just waiting to make it official, that you were seeing other people. And you believed her? She was convincing. She talked about how you'd grown apart, how you'd stopped being intimate, how you basically told her the marriage was over. She made it sound like you were staying together for your kid, but living separate lives. So you thought it was fine to pursue a married woman?" "No. I mean, fuck, I don't know." She reached out to me. She initiated everything. I was lonely after my divorce. And here was someone I used to care about telling me her marriage was dead and she'd been thinking about me. I'm not making excuses. I know I fucked up, but I'm not some villain trying to wreck a happy home. She told me it was already wrecked. I wanted to hit him. God, I wanted to hit him so badly. But Miss Patterson's warning echoed in my head. "Why are you here?" "Because I ended it. After you sent that message through Jake, I confronted Emma. Asked her point blank if what you said was true, that you had no idea she was planning to sleep with me, that she'd framed it as some kind of choice for you. She tried to spin it, but I pushed back. Eventually she admitted that, yeah, she'd told you, and yeah, you'd reacted badly, but she was going to do it anyway because she needed closure." He ran his hand through his hair. "Dude, that's fucked up. That's not closure. That's just... I don't even know what that is." I told her I wanted nothing to do with it. She called me a coward. Said I'd promise her we'd see this through. I was like, "See what through? Blowing up your marriage?" No thanks. So you dumped her and now you want what? Forgiveness? Absolution? I want you to know I'm out. Completely. I blocked her on everything. If she tries to contact me, I'm not responding. I'm not going to be used to destroy your family. My family's already destroyed. Because of me? Because of her. You were just the weapon she chose. If it wasn't you, it would have been someone else eventually. He nodded slowly. For what it's worth, I'm sorry. I should have been smarter. Should have questioned her story more. Should have stayed away from a married woman, period. I was selfish. Yeah, you were. Is there anything I can do? To help with, I don't know, whatever you need. Actually, yeah, my lawyer might want a statement from you about what Emma told you, how she misrepresented the situation. Would you be willing to provide that? He looked uncomfortable. Would I have to go to court? Maybe. Depends how Emma fights this. He thought for a moment. Okay, yeah, if it helps clear up the truth, I'll do it. It's the least I can do. I got his contact info and sent it to Ms. Patterson. Kyle left, and I went back inside feeling weird. I'd expected to hate him, to want to destroy him. And I do, kind of, but mostly I just feel tired. He was stupid and selfish. But Emma was the one who weaponized him against our marriage. Saturday morning, Emma found out Kyle ended things. She showed up at the house, still has a key, while I was making breakfast with Lily. I heard the door open and immediately tensed. Daddy, Mommy's home. Lily ran to her. Emma scooped her up, and for a moment, watching them, my heart broke all over again. This is what she was willing to risk. This beautiful little girl's stability and happiness. After a few minutes of Lily chattering at Emma, I asked Emma to step outside so we could talk. My parents were coming by to watch Lily, and they arrived right on time. Once Lily was distracted with Grandma and Grandpa, Emma and I went to the backyard. Did you send Kyle to my house? I asked. What? No. Why would I? He came here. Last night. Said he ended things with you. Wanted to apologize. Her face went through about 5 emotions. He told you he ended it? He did end it, didn't he? He's being dramatic. We had a fight, but we can work it out. He's just scared of conflict. Emma, he said he wants nothing to do with you. He realized you lied to him about our marriage. I didn't lie. I told him the truth about how distant we've been. We weren't distant until you started emotionally cheating. You created the distance to justify the cheating. That's not. You've been checked out for months. You work all the time. You barely look at me. We never have sex anymore. We don't have sex because every time I try to initiate, you turn me down. You were the one pulling away. And I work all the time to support this family while you work part-time and spend your afternoons texting your ex. She started crying. Why are you doing this? Why can't you just forgive me? People make mistakes. Making a mistake is forgetting an anniversary. What you did was calculated, planned, and cruel. You didn't slip and fall on his dick, Emma. You spent months laying groundwork for an affair, and then had the audacity to ask my permission. I was trying to be honest. You were trying to manipulate me into condoning your betrayal so you wouldn't feel guilty. There's a difference. Fine. You want to know the truth? Yes. I wanted to sleep with him. I've been fantasizing about it for weeks. He makes me feel alive in a way you haven't in years. Is that what you want to hear? There it was. The truth I'd known, but she'd been dancing around. Thank you, I said quietly. Thank you for finally being honest. Now get the fuck out of my house. Our house. My house until the court says otherwise. You moved out. You made your choice. Now live with it. She left sobbing. My parents came out, having heard everything through the window. My dad looked like he wanted to punch something. My mom just hugged me. So that's where we are. Divorce papers will be served this week. Kyle's out of the picture, but willing to provide a statement if needed. Emma's mask has fully come off. She's not the confused person seeking closure anymore. She's just an angry woman caught in her own betrayal and lashing out. I'm sad, angry, and exhausted. But I'm also more certain than ever that I made the right call. She didn't even deny it at the end. Didn't try to walk it back. just confirmed that yes, she wanted to fuck him and had been planning it for weeks. Option 3 was the right choice. The only choice, really.